Habit tracking is one of the most common used practices in the latest day and age. It's genuinely something that will get you from A to B. And it's something I've been using for the last few months because I have just a really lucky life and there's really good people in my life. And I want to share it with you guys because I feel like I would be doing a disservice if I didn't pass on this knowledge to something greater than myself. So, habit tracking. Why is habit tracking a good thing to be doing? Well, it's simply something that will change your life for the better. It's something you can build up over time. It's something you can constantly change. However you use habit tracking, it will benefit your life regardless. It'll benefit your life in 1 year. It'll benefit your life in 40 years. So why do we habit track? Well, we habit track to make sure that we're being good boys and good girls, because at the end of the day, if we don't do that, we're going to spiral, we're going to go down, we're going to lose our jobs, we're going to lose our families, our cars, our houses, our mortgages, everything. Like, that is extreme, but it's at that point that we realize, wow, if only I had some sort of structure in my life. And part of introducing good structure is habit tracking. I'll tell you how to habit track. First, list out all the things that are your goals. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, you would have realized that I always talk about writing things down. Write down all your goals, understand what your mission is. Once you've got that all figured out, once you've figured out how you're going to reach those goals, write down what you're going to need to be doing in your daily life. Now, you're not going to be able to do all of these things all in one go. You'll burn out in the first few weeks. What you should do is start with one thing that you can get towards your goal. So if you don't run at all, you have no good cardio, you're a horrible runner and you can't even walk without getting puffed out, then think about how, let's say your goal is you want to run a marathon. All right, you're not going to be able to just run a marathon the next week. You're going to have to slowly build up that level, slowly reach towards that goal every single day. So you might start with walking, and then you might get to the point where you're jogging, and then you might get to the point where you're running, and maybe you got to the point where you're sprinting at the end. Now, if you want to habit track well, you'll have your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you'll have your lists out of what you're going to do. So let's just say Monday, you've got wake up at 6 a.m, run, and then the next thing is breakfast. All right. Tick yes for running on the Monday. So let's say it's Monday. Tick yes. All right, cool. I did my running on my Monday, but I didn't have breakfast, or I didn't have my shower, or I didn't do something that is crucial to what's crucial. I didn't clean my teeth. All right. If you're not even doing those simple things, the things that, good hygiene, if you're not doing all of that stuff, then you can just kiss all this stuff out the window. You got to make sure you're all right with doing. You got a pretty decent structure of your life, just your simple life. You wake up, you work out, or if you don't work out, you have a shower, get ready for work and all that stuff. Clean your teeth, freshen up, put some deodorant on. If you need to do that every single day, and at least get you to the point where you're doing the simple things, do that first. If you're not even doing the simple things first, don't even try adding more shit. But if you do all those simple things already, you can start by adding in those habits, those good habits that will get you towards your goal, and maybe one habit sparks another habit. So me waking up in the morning and seeing the sun, that sparks me to put on my shoes and go running. It's a trigger. And I mentioned this in a previous video as well. At the start of the year, I read a book called Atomic Habits, probably the best book in the world. It's the #1 book on Audible. So if you haven't read Atomic Habits, read Atomic Habits. It's good. It's literally changed the world, I think. So read that book. Read Atomic Habits. He talks about habit tracking and why it's so necessary. All right. Because honestly, we lie to ourselves about this, but we have pretty shit habits, and we can just fall into those bad habits every day, and we don't even realize half the time that most of our habits are bad. You know, that time of day when you get home from work, if you're a guy, you get home from work and you just sit on your phone in your car for like 5-10 minutes. You don't even realize you're doing that, but that's a bad habit. You need to be getting inside, maybe having a shower, getting dinner ready, something like that. You know, if you have family, of course you're going to be doing those things because you need to provide. But if you can't provide for yourself, you can't provide for your family. So provide for yourself, make sure everything's in line with you, then work on everything else. Again, it comes down to foundations. Always been a big believer of foundations. If you don't have foundations in your life, then there's nothing to support you at all. So try habit tracking. Try looking up ways to habit track. There's all different ways on the internet how to do this. I'm not going to tell you how I do it, but there is plenty of different ways to do it. Some people like sticky notes. I've got a bunch of sticky notes that help me in check with my daily tasks. Some people put sticky notes around their house telling them to do something. Other people write it in their phone, but then they also write it in their journal, and they've also got it on their computer. When they open up their emails, they're like, oh, it's there. And they look on their phone, oh, there it is right in my face. It's telling me, right, I have to do that. So start habit tracking. Seriously. Thank me later. You will seriously benefit from everything you do when you begin habit tracking. And comment if habit tracking has helped your life.